Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambi Reads the Holy Books of India, Ramayana81. As you may remember, the king fainted. Rama hurried to his side and raised him up with great concern. Like a high-born horse wincing under the stroke of a whip, Rama, spurred by Keiki, spoke to her with a smile and with sadness in his voice. Mother, still you have not understood me. I have never been fond of riches, nor do I want to live in luxury like ordinary men. I wish you to know that I am like the rishis, bent on following the path of Dharma, and nothing else is desirable to me. If it is humanly possible to please this godly man, who is my father, I will do so. I will give up my very life and save my father's name from ignominy. As I see it, the utmost dharma of a man is to serve his father and to worship him as his God and obey his every wish. Although I have not been spoken to directly by the king, I am commanded by you to spend the next 14 years in the fearful forest known as Dandaka. I will certainly do so. Have no fear. Devi, Keiki, you did not give me credit with one thing. I would have obeyed you if you had asked me to do this because of your lack of faith in me and my love for you. You have approached the king. I am only sorry you have underrated me. Are you not as dear to me as my father? I would have obeyed you implicitly, but it is of no matter. I will at once go to my mother and take her blessing. I will have to comfort her and convince her that this is not a calamity which has befallen me. I will then speak to Sita about this. After that, I have nothing left but to leave for Dandaka, situated between the rivers of Narmada and Godavari. After all, the forest once belonged to Dandaka, the son of Ikshvaku. Bharata can take over the service, which is due to my father. Service to one's parents is the first, and in fact the only path which leads to the other Purusharthas. Mother, you must take good care of my father, and make certain that Bharata does not fail in his duties as a son and as a ruler. The king was now sobbing loudly, and his grief was uncontrollable. Rama had to steel his heart against staying there and comforting his father. Without a word, he fell at his father's feet, clasped them in his hands, and placed them on his head. Then he stood up. He went to Keiki and, taking the dust of her feet, walked out of the chamber without another word. He could hear his father's sighs and his lamentations, but he walked away with firm steps. Lakshman had been standing near the doorway, and he heard everything. Rama looked at the angry face of his brother. Lakshmana's lips were throbbing with anger, and his eyes were filled with tears. Rama walked fast towards the antapura of his mother Kaushalya, controlling the unhappiness in his own heart and his senses too. And Lakshman followed him silently. They had to pass the great hall where preparations were being made for the coronation. Rama went round the vessels full of the waters from the many sacred rivers of Bharatavarsha, waters which had been gathered in a hurry for the coronation. There was not even a shadow of disappointment on the face of Rama as he did this. His face was like the full moon, charming and pleasing. The loss of the kingdom and the banishment which was imminent had no effect on this great soul who was beloved by everyone. And his face was just as it was the previous day when the king had summoned him to his presence and told him that he should be the Yuvaraja. Rama looked like a great sannyasi who had renounced the world. He had made up his mind to abandon willingly all the glory which should have been his, and he had decided to proceed to the forest. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.